Okay, Chris, little before and after from our session today, mate. So think of it like this. This was your swing at the start, right? So you know, having this pressure pad is really important. So you can see as you're going back, really loading up under the right foot, the trail foot, to the point where you're at the top there, and the pressure pad down here is telling me that you've got zero pressure under the lead foot, right? So we want more pressure under that lead foot at the top, right? Definitely. You want to be settling on the lead foot at the top, not settling on your back foot, which is what you're doing, right? The reason for that, you know, we've got to think. Well, there's a bit of lateral movement there with your hips, bit of lateral movement there with your head, right? So what we said was, well, first and foremost, let's get you set up better. So we've got the shaft leaning more forward, right? So you can see how much more forward shaft lean you've got now, right, rather than straight up. And then, this is your old one. And then, as we go back, making sure the tailbone is moving more forward so that there's more weight over your left foot. Now, I'd like to see you do more than that, but you can clearly see there's a bit of space in there now, right? And there's maybe half an inch. There's pretty much zero space here now down on your left hip, where before that's where all the space was, which tells me your hips, although they're turning, are also moving laterally away from the target. We want to move your hips forward so that the centre of your hips as you're turning is more over the left foot, so that you can settle on that foot and push down on that foot to start the downswing. You see what I mean? So that's better. That's much better. And for some reason, it's affecting your wrist angles as well. See how much more wrist cock you've got as you got up there?
Yes.
Rather than the other one before. Turns are about the same. But with regards to where you're keeping your centres, centre of the shoulders, centre of the hips. Here, the centre of the shoulders has moved to the right, the centre of the hips has moved to the right. So all the mass now, look, all the mass is more towards your right foot, which would then explain why you've got 99% of your pressure, the force that's pushing down under this back foot. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's not the pattern you see with most of the pros. Most of the pros, by the time they've got up to the top, are now starting to push down back on their lead foot as they get up to the top. The model that we used was Hunter Mahan. So you can see as he gets up to the top there, the space is in here. So he's moved, although he's turned his hips, he's also moved them forward a little bit. Your hips were moving that way as they were turning. Make sense?